We are back now with a violent attack in prison on the rapper who shot another rapper, Megan Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez was stabbed 14 times by another inmate at a California prison. He suffered 2 collapsed lungs, but we are told he is now breathing on his own.
"16 stab wounds, 2 collapsed lungs, and a 39-second video that could expose something way bigger than a prison attack. Because what you're about to hear isn't just violence. It's a moment that forces a chilling question. How does someone like Tory Lanez get attacked this brutally inside a high-security prison and no one steps in? And now, from a hospital bed, he's demanding $100 million, claiming the very system meant to protect him may have failed him at the highest level. But here's where it gets disturbing. Is this just negligence or something deeper that nobody wants to say out loud? Because this story didn't start in prison. It started years earlier, with headlines, controversy, and one of the most polarizing cases in hip-hop history involving Megan Thee Stallion gunshots in the Hollywood Hills, a fleeing SUV, a superstar injured, and a courtroom battle that split the internet in half, until December 2022, when the verdict came down. Guilty, 3 felony charges. And by August 2023, a 10-year sentence that sent Tory straight into a world where fame means nothing and survival means everything, because inside those walls, there are only 2 rules: you're either protected or you're prey. And somehow, Tory Lanez became both, a walking headline in a place where attention can get you hurt, or worse. And according to insiders, that kind of visibility paints a target on your back. But what no one realized was that something was already building behind the scenes, something quiet, something dangerous, something waiting for the perfect moment to explode. And that moment came on May 12th, 2025. Just after 7:20 a.m., when a routine morning turned into chaos as an inmate, Santino Casio, rushed from behind, and in seconds, it was over. Stab after stab after stab. No hesitation, no mercy. Witnesses saying Tory tried to run, even down a staircase, screaming for help. But here's the part that doesn't make sense, the part no one can explain. Where were the guards? Why did it take so long for anyone to respond? And how does a violent inmate get that close to a high-profile target without anyone noticing? Because this wasn't a random fight. It wasn't an accident. This was calculated. This was an ambush. And if what's coming next is true, then this entire attack might not just be shocking, it might be something far worse, something that could change everything we thought we knew.
It's believed that rapper Tory Lanez is being treated after being attacked by another inmate this morning at a nearby state prison. And breaking news here into our newsroom, Tory Lanez had actually just posted on his social media stating that he was stabbed 14 times, including multiple wounds to his back, torso, and to his face and head. He also mentioned both of his lungs collapsed and was placed on a breathing tube.
The attack lasted seconds, but what it triggered could shake an entire system. By the time staff reached Tory Lanez, this wasn't just an injury, it was survival. Reports say up to 16 stab wounds across his body, his back, torso, face, even his head. And then the detail that changes everything: both lungs collapsed. Inside a maximum security prison, he was left gasping for air, seconds from death. So now the question isn't optional. Was this random violence or a total failure of protection? Airlifted to a Bakersfield hospital, hooked to machines, his condition hung in the balance for days. Outside, chaos exploded. Rumors of his death, whispers of a targeted hit. Then suddenly an update. He's alive, breathing, even talking. In good spirits, his team says. But that's where things start to feel off. Because surviving something this brutal doesn't just bring relief, it raises suspicion. And as more details surfaced, the story flipped. This wasn't just inmate versus inmate anymore. It became about how this was even allowed to happen. The attacker, Santino Casio, wasn't random. He had a violent past, prior assaults, even weapon-making inside prison. So, how does someone like that get near a high-profile inmate? Mistake or negligence? Then came the moment that changed everything, the 39-second leaked footage. No guards, no instant response, just raw, uninterrupted chaos. And one question echoed everywhere. In a place built on control, how do you lose it this badly? And if it can happen to someone this famous, what does that say about everyone else inside? But just when you think it ends there, it doesn't. Nearly a year later, April 2026, Tory strikes back with a $100 million federal lawsuit. Not just for the attack, but for what his team calls deliberate indifference. And here's the twist. The lawsuit doesn't just revisit the attack. It introduces something new, something that could completely rewrite this entire story. So before we expose that next layer, hit subscribe because what comes next might be the part they never wanted you to hear.